Hi, my name is Jayla Lewis. I am the maid of honor, and I am so happy to be here to tell you the story of how my friends Ron and Hermione turned me into from a cynic into a romantic. So today I am so happy to join all of you in celebrating Ron and Hermione's nuptials, but also to celebrate their goodness as people and as friends. So I would like to take a moment to not only introduce the new couple, but to reflect on the same old wonderful people I call my friends. So we all met around the same time and we were at around 11, 12. It was after their first year at Hogwarts in the summer. And when I first met Hermione and that insane day in May, I knew instantly that we would be attached at the hip. Something about her just truly resonated with me. We've had the blessing to grow close to each other and know each other. She knows I love dancing. I know she loves camping, and we both share a passion for reading. And on top of that, I know that she has a minimum respect for divination, and she knows that I have maximum skepticism about marriage, but yet she still let me stand in front of all of you today. And the reason why is because she was right, and suddenly I'm the romantic. So, as poet Laura Hendricks would say, their friendship was like love on fire. Um, so, today, a day where families grow and gain both members and memories, I would like to share some stories about Hermione and Ron that can convert any cynic into a romantic. So, first story is about Hermione, second is about Ron, third is about both of them. So, Hermione is a great person and friend. Starting with the minister, of course, we have to start with something that is one of those simple yet deep truths, right? Something like, live in the moment. Something that is a simple sentiment, but actually requires a lot of emotional work. Um, Hermione is a good person in the sense that she has this internal compass that is always pointed towards justice. Her work with SPEW was like planting a seed of equality that she watered with her empathy and grew with her own maturity and wisdom. Her goodness isn't just moral or ethical, it's satisfactory. It's like that first sip of water on a really hot day. Um, Her goodness as a friend is the steadfast support of everyone in her life. If she can provide knowledge or insight, she will. And that's just another part of her goodness, her giving spirit. It's honestly the most romantic thing about her. She shows love by learning, not just for the sake of teaching others, but in order to learn and understand herself so she can change and grow. Um, it's something she has in common with Ron. I met Ron the same time as Hermione, of course. And while Hermione and I clicked right away, Ron and I actually took a little bit to actually connect. It wasn't until after their third year that I actually listened to Ron when he was explaining Quidditch instead of tuning him out, right? And he finally listened to why I was super convinced that he would like hockey, and I was right. And we bonded over our shared experience of having extraordinary siblings and ordinary bank accounts. Um, we've grown over the years together, both of us, and I have to say that that might be the most romantic thing about him is his ability to change, adapt, and grow at such a rapid pace. That year that we actually became close, that third year, Harry, Ron, and Hermione actually got into a huge fight. So after getting an attitude check from Hagrid, from both Ron and Harry, for some silly childish argument, they forgave her. And after that, he didn't just say, "Oh, okay, I was wrong." He actually changed and actually started to put on these and embody these traits that he really admired in Hermione. So he became suddenly studious, trying to work and find a defense for Buckbeak the Hippogriff. He was constantly in the library, constantly working. And that's really just an example of how Ron shows his love through action and growth. He is always the first one to stand up and defend who he loves and the last one to set down his weapon when there's a fight. And that is his goodness, his compassion for others. And truly watching him extend that compassion to himself was a blessing to me. And I look to his example when I try to do the same for myself. And, we all know the cliche, marry your best friend. Looking back, even just on how we first met, I can see the kindling for this friendship on fire. Hindsight is a gift. From the first day I met my precious friends, these traits and goodnesses were in front of my eyes the whole time. Uh, I grew up in Ottery St. Catchpole with the Weasleys and the Diggories. You notice a lot of strange, non-magic folk like my parents would attribute it to our culture of quirky, but I knew there was something else. And so the beautiful bride before you actually proved me right one summer. On that insane day, I found out that I have enough magic to interact with the wizarding world, but not enough to go to Hogwarts. Hermione lied to a ministry official to prevent my sister from getting obliviated, and Ron snuck her out under a borrowed cloak from a friend. So even as children, Ron and Hermione had this teamwork about them. Hermione was the first one to stand up and have my back and my sister's back, and Ron was the first to act. They both didn't turn their backs on an underdog in need. And truly, that's their romance. It is in the way they love, in the way that they reflect and enhance each other. Their goodness endures in their actions. And I'm so proud to say that I know you, Hermione, and I'm so proud to say I know you, Ron. I love you both. So I'd like to close with a little bit of the poem I've been hinting at this whole time. It encompasses all of my love for you and my hopes for your marriage. Love is friendship on fire, mutual confidence, sharing and forgiving. It is loyalty through good and bad times. It settles for less than perfection and makes allowances for human weaknesses. Love is content with the present, hopes for the future, and does not brood over the past. It is the day in and day out chronicles of irritations, problems, compromises, small disappointments, big victories, and working towards common goals. And I've already seen you do all that. And so, who needs cynicism when I've seen you? I love you both. Cheers.